Unfortunately, this is one of the very rare things that is a little bit complicated when you try and understand it. But if you understand it, you will understand the beauty behind it. This is one of the very rare things that is actually a little complicated, but it's complicated because we tried to build something that was extremely unique and very good for you, not something where we're trying to hide something bad from you, okay? So I'm gonna try and explain this, and I think it'll make a lot of sense once you understand it. So just as a general idea, so we understand our audience a bit better, how many of you have ever been part of a company or of that operated on a forced matrix system? Okay, just anybody who's familiar with forced matrix. All right, a lot of you. That's awesome, because that would mean that a lot of you will understand this, okay? So the way a forced matrix system works is that if this is X, okay, you know what, we will say this is Hitesh, and Hitesh goes out and refers Roger, Kevin, and Jason. And then Hitesh goes and refers, let's say, give me another name. I'm blanking on name. Okay, I'll pick another name, Keith. Then I go and refer Keith. Okay, Keith doesn't go here. Keith goes in here, okay? And this is what you would call a matrix with a width of 3. Okay, basically you can only have 3 people on your first level, which would necessarily mean that you would have only 9 people on your second level, and then only 27 on your third level, only 81 on your fourth level, and 243 on the next level, and 729 on the next level, okay? And the next one is, I think, 2187. So these are the only numbers that are possible in the system, okay? And the way a forced matrix works is that you get paid on everybody who is in your matrix, regardless of if you refer them or not. So when I refer Keith and Keith goes here, suddenly Roger also gets to make some money, even though Roger didn't refer Keith at all, okay? So there is a level of ingenuity here. There is something good here in that a non-recruiter can benefit a little bit from a recruiter. But very quickly, you will begin to see a problem over here. There are 9 spots over here, okay? And then keep in mind, there are 27 spots over here, and then there are 81 spots over here, and then 243, and then 729. Do you see a pattern? The pattern is that as you go further down, closer to the bottom, there are more number of people there, okay? So the people at the very bottom far outweigh the people in the top. I mean, look at this. The first 3 levels are basically 13 people, and the last 3 levels are over 2,000, right? So what happens is, in a forced matrix structure, even though the intention is there to help them, only the few people at the top end up making any money. The other problem is that you need thousands upon thousands of people to actually fill a matrix, right? Just to depth matrix, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2187 would be your last matrix level. Just to have these levels filled, you're going to need over 3,000 people, over around 3,200 people. So any company that begins with this kind of a system also struggles, because, I mean, you need 3,000 people before the top guy in the company has a full matrix, okay? So here's the solution to that. The solution to that was actually a very simple idea, but it was difficult to execute. I think that's why other companies don't execute this. But what you do is, and this is how options work, okay? So I'm giving you the exact numbers now. So let's say somebody joins options domination at the cheapest level, which is $49.95 a month. Okay, that's the cheapest level in options domination. Okay, when somebody joins at that level, let's say Roger is at that level, Kevin is at that level, Jason is at that level. I would receive $1 per person per month who is in my matrix. Okay, so in this case, I would be getting $4. Similarly, Roger is going to get $1 because he has one active person in his matrix, which is Keith. Okay, now if this matrix was full, then I would earn about $3,200 from this matrix if all the people in this matrix were just at the lowest level of options domination, okay? Now, that would leave, obviously, these thousands of people down here with almost no money to speak of. All of the people on this level would have $3 each at the end of the month. All of these people would have 0, okay? So the way we fix it is that at the same time as M1, as the first matrix exists, we have something we call M2. In this M2, we begin with the last person here. Number 2,187 on this level ends up being the first guy on this level, okay? And Hitesh here, who thought he had placed himself so wonderfully and is the king of the world at this moment, ends up as the last person in this matrix. Okay, now keep in mind, I'm already making 3,200 bucks here, okay? So this, me being at the end in the second matrix at the same time doesn't hurt me. It's not taking this money away from me. I'm already making this money, okay? In M2, there'll be people at the bottom over here who will end up making a lot of money, okay? One of them is gonna make $3,200 as well, and then others are going to make significant incomes as well. You know, like somebody at this level is going to make a little over $1,000. So Roger, Kevin, and Jason over here are making over $1,000. The same way, there are going to be 3 people making over $1,000 here. And there'll be 27 people then making somewhere in the hundreds of range, and so on and so forth, okay? Now, obviously, the number of people at the bottom here was much higher than the number of people at top. So flipping this matrix 1 isn't actually sufficient. So then we have something called M3, which also exists at the same time, where the exact same mechanism takes place, but the people who so far have the least income, who have $0 from M1 and M2, they begin this matrix from top, okay? So X, Y, and Z, who were so far at $0, they begin this matrix. So now suddenly we have another person making $3,200 minimum, then we have other people over here, and so on, okay? So you begin to see what's happening here. There's a lot of people in here. Let's say these 3 guys never recruited anybody at all. These 3 are making over $1,000 here. And then there are 3 other people over here making over $1,000, 3 other people over here making over $1,000. As you start compiling all of these numbers, you very quickly realize that forget 99% failure rate, you won't even see a 90% failure rate just from this, because already a significant portion of the membership is going to be making money just from the matrices themselves. Okay, now if you were doing some math alongside with me, then this means if you're paying $1 per person who is paying $49.95, this means that we are only paying $7 in this matrix on one person. We are only paying $7 over here and $7 here. So when one person pays in almost 50, we are paying out $21 of that back to other customers, okay, in form of the matrix, okay, in form of these 3 matrices together. Is that part somewhat clear? Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Hey, can I intervene really quick?
Brilliant. We're getting yes.
No. Everybody said they understood, so I'm not letting anybody in.
I know, but I'm the dumbest one here. Can I try and formulate some words, and we'll go over the alphabet and stuff real quick?
All right, go ahead.
Okay, a couple things here. As I'm looking at this, you have to realize if you're an affiliate, some of the powers are maybe some of it's elusive. And I know Hitesh was probably about to mention this. If it's confusing, it'll just take a couple times for you guys to see. It's a difficult concept because it's so amazing. All right. So a couple things. How would you like to be at the absolute top of matrix 1, right? So what does that result in? It results in everybody pouring in, trying to get in. How would you like to be at the bottom of matrix 1 when it flips? So as the time counts down to when the money's going to run for whoever's at the bottom of the first matrix, people will be pouring in. So if you're an affiliate, it's just a non-stop race to get involved with this. Now, I want to tell you guys a story because Hitesh won't tell you this. If you've ever seen the movie, this kind of reminds me of the movie Good Will Hunting. And there's a scene there where Will's sitting there, and this is still when he's buddy-buddy with the professor that bailed him out of jail and stuff like that. And then there's this old crotchety guy that's also a math whiz, and he has an assistant, and he's doing his math. And at one point, I don't know the exact scene, but the other professor gets on there, and he's like, but I can do the indices. It's not this. And then Will grabs a piece of paper, and he's like, here, take this home with you, and you'll get it. So I sat on countless calls, okay, including myself, where Hitesh talked about this tri-matricy crazy thing. And I said, oh, it won't work because I don't have enough money. Blah, 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 blah. And we mashed back and forth in some math until I broke. Just kind of a light bulb was like, whoa. And then he took it, and I remember I enjoyed being on several of these calls where he went to Complan air quote experts, And he would present the introduction like, oh, but and Tesh was like, here, take it home with you. You'll get it. Just figure it out. And then the amazement would come back. And this is just so brilliant. It's never been done. It's not being done anywhere. It's innovative, and it had Tesh's drive coupled with Jason's drive to ensure that everybody makes money. Okay. Now I care less when anybody makes money. Okay, I like making money myself. I want all of your money. No, I'm just kidding. But he won't say it, so brilliant job on that. Back to you.
All right. Yeah, I don't know where that story came from. I don't even remember any of that happening. We just...
you told me to say it. You just texted me.
You
just texted me and told me to say all that. Okay.
But that is a true. Even for me, I put my wife to sleep one night because even after Hitesh explained it to me multiple times, and with the rollovers and stuff that he's about to go to that next level with you guys, I literally, we just finally got children to bed, and it was probably like midnight, 12:30, and it just really hit me. I was like, this is ingenious. Even we have one at the top, I'm not going to say his name because he doesn't like us necessarily quoting him because other people may be jealous, said he couldn't believe how clever, damn clever, Hitesh's comp plan was. He was just overwhelmingly impressed. And once again, even after hearing him and discussions with our attorney and stuff like that, sitting there, and for myself, it had to be when everyone was in bed, sleeping, and I was just laying there and just going through my head, and it is just phenomenally what he came up with and how we can use it to make everyone, the average person, the just consumer themselves, not even being an affiliate, have an income to help them with their trading. So it's just an amazing thing. So I just wanted to put that in there because I had the light bulb moment myself, and I think most people will. And just in Facebook, I even saw people saying that at it, and they're just like, man, just thank Hitesh for coming up with something so brilliant. Just say thank you to him. So I'd recommend just thanking Hitesh. He's looking out for you guys.
Boring talk. Forget about that. Let's move on. Okay, these guys are, you know how...
Hitesh is always also very handsome, too. And
okay, yeah, we're going to talk about the second part of this matrix. I can't mute everybody. I think everybody would like me to mute everybody. Just move on.
He's got a very good style of clothing. Okay.
This is... Now, this so far is actually part one. Okay, this is only the first part of the matrix, of not the matrix, but of the whole system, of the ways that people get paid. Okay, now there's a very quick question I want to answer because a lot of people in their head are going to think, okay, 3x7 matrix, that means this matrix stops at 7th level. And that's not what this means. Okay, remember, there is going to be a level after this as well. There are other people beyond this. Okay, so there's like 6,300, some people, actually 400, over 6,400, yeah, 6,500 people on this level, okay? And then there's going to be something like 19,500 people on the level below that, and it's going to keep going, okay? But my matrix, my individual matrix is only these 7 levels. But Roger's matrix is going to be these 7 levels. Kevin's matrix is going to be these 7 levels. And then Keith over here, his matrix is going to include this level over there. So you're thinking in a very fixed concept. If you're thinking that, oh, matrix 1 fills up, then matrix 2 fills up, then matrix... No, that's not what's happening here, okay? We have one gigantic matrix. It's not restricted to 7 levels. It's an unlimited depth matrix that exists in 3 separate situations. It exists as matrix 1, as matrix 2, and matrix 3, okay? Everyone gets only paid up to their 7 levels, okay? In part because saying you're going to get paid on your 8th level is kind of dumb because most people won't have their 8th level fill, okay? That's a way to top load the system and make it seem like, look, you can make so many millions off of the matrix. But in reality, it's practically impossible for most people to have their 8th level fill, okay? There are not enough people in the world to have more than, I think, 100,000 people to have 8 levels full or something, okay? So the point being over here is that don't think in very limited terms that once this matrix will, then this matrix happens. These happen simultaneously. These exist, these coexist at the same time, all three of them, okay? So what happens is this is going to change every single day, every single week. Every time somebody else joins, a new person enters the system, they are going to have a chance to be at the top of matrix 2. And by default, somebody else's income is going to be affected here, and they have a chance to be towards the top of matrix 3. Okay, so it's a very interesting dynamic. It's happening all the time. And what happens when somebody drops out? What if Kevin over here cancels his membership? Well, then every single week we do what is called a compression. Okay, and when we compress, Jason will move here, and Keith will move here, and then whoever was over here will move here, and so on and so forth. Okay, that makes sure there are no empty spots in the matrix. So when I have a full matrix, I have a full matrix all the time. Okay, now this is not something that could be achieved right from scratch by anybody. Okay, because by the time the true power kicks in for more than one person, you need thousands of people. And that is why this is phase 2. This is why this is being done after DS Domination, because DS Domination already has 100,000 accounts. So when we begin options domination, where you can make money without recruiting anybody just by using the signals, and you can do all of this amazing stuff in there, and we will talk a little bit more about that in the future, you can also make money with the tri-matrix system. And this can only be done because we have over 100,000 people already who are target audience. So if just, okay, I'm just giving an example. If let's say just 10,000 people out of all of DS Domination and all of our marketing abilities combined join options domination, that means we have 8 levels filled for sure, okay? At least we have 8 levels filled. That means there are going to be at least 4 people with their full matrix in every one of the systems without ever recruiting anybody. That 12 people making at least $3,200 every single month in that kind of system, okay? That's a mathematical fact. Note my absence of saying, disclaimer, that result is not typical. I'm not putting that disclaimer on there because I'm giving you a mathematical fact. In a scenario where there are 10,000 active people in this system, in that system, there will be 12 people making minimum $3,200. Okay? And there'll be a lot more people making about 1,000. There'll be a lot more people making about 600, and a lot more people making about 300, and a lot more people making about 180, and so on and so forth. Okay? So it's a very exciting way to place things. All right. Now, obviously, the next question becomes, okay, so here's all this money going to customers, and the customers are really happy, but there are still going to be some people, and I'm sure mathematically some of you can see, just visually you can see, there are so many people at bottom in these systems, in every MLM in the world. You cannot satisfy every single one just by flipping the matrix twice. Okay, it doesn't work like that. And if I flip the matrix too many times, then we run out of money. Okay, and there's no system in this world where you put in a certain amount of money and more money comes out of it, right? There's only systems like this where you have multiple sources of money. You have the trading making money and the drop shipping making money and so on and so forth. So what do we do here to make sure that affiliates have a good incentive to actually build a good team? And how do we ensure success there? So let's say you're an affiliate in options domination and you refer a customer in here. Okay, you refer a customer who is never going to recruit anybody. Okay, so you don't have to worry about them recruiting. The first thing that happens is that you immediately get a 10% referral bonus. Okay, so they join at $49.95 a month, you immediately get $4.995 per month as your income. Okay, that seems kind of small. I understand why that seems small, especially compared to DS Domination, but you'll see why this is actually a pretty good thing. You refer somebody at the highest level, which is legacy, and then you end up getting $39.95 a month. $39.95 a month, basically $40 a month. This goes 5 levels deep, just like we have DST going multiple levels deep. And this is what you can earn per level. Okay, so basically, when you refer somebody and they're on their 5th level, like you referred somebody and they referred somebody, and they referred somebody and they referred somebody, and then they referred somebody, that person, when they pay $49.95 a month, you would get, in that case, basically 40 cents, okay, 49 cents. Okay, doesn't sound much at all. I understand that. And these are not the glamorous parts of the compensation plan that typical people would focus on, because they're trying to sell you on a dream. There is no dream here, just mathematical facts, which is very boring, but also very exciting depending on your perspective. So what the affiliate makes right off the bat. But then something else happens as well. The affiliate also gets 5 levels of matching bonuses, okay, which is when the affiliate refers a customer, I refer Roger and Roger makes $1,000 from the matrix, I get 25% matching bonus. So if I referred Roger in this system and Roger made $1,000, I will receive $250 because my referred customer just made money, okay? Basically, my money making is in a way being tied to the money making of the people that I referred, okay? And that goes 5 levels deep as well. And I think I made a mistake earlier in this over here. It's supposed to be 3%, 2%, 1%, and then 0.5%. And this over here is your matching bonuses. This means that I referred Roger, and then let's say that Kevin over here referred Keith, okay, because they're both K brothers, and he refers Keith, and Keith ends up making $600 from the matrix system, okay, from his one matrix. He won't make anything in M2 and M3 necessarily because he's already so high in M1. In that case, my first level was Kevin, okay? Kevin makes 1,000, I make 250. My second level is Keith. Keith makes 600, I get 10% of that, which is 60, okay? Now note something interesting that's happening over here. There are people making more money, some people making more money than they put in from the matrix without recruiting anybody. And I'm making more money than the volume that I generated in the company because my customers happen to be the ones who are successful, okay? It's not an infinite system. It is not perpetual motion or something like that. This is mathematically grounded. You can see how it works because by factors of necessity, there's still going to be people who will make very little money, okay? But the way this has changed is very interestingly, simply because when we say a matching bonus is given to the affiliate, it means something different from when any other company says a matching bonus is given. In every other company, when you are given a matching bonus, that means that you refer an affiliate and that affiliate refers other people and then you make some money. In this case, it means you refer a customer, makes some money from the matrix, you still get money, okay? And in some cases, those customers are going to make thousands of dollars, okay? So that's just the fun part over here. Now, there is one other interesting thing, which works both for affiliates and for other customers, which is called roll-up commissions. And this is I think, a little bit of point of confusion that happened yesterday. Now, note how I mentioned that, I would have made minimum of $3,200 if I had a full matrix, okay? So we stipulated a condition in this system. The condition is this: if you are a customer with no affiliate activity, which means you have not referred anybody, you are not an active affiliate in the system. If you are such a customer, you are limited to $900 per month from the matrix, okay? What that means is that if Jason over here never referred anybody, even though he would have made 1,000, he will only receive 900, okay? That's what that means. And I will explain the reasoning behind this. This is not because we are evil and we want to put the money in Jason's pocket and then he gives us free food. The reason we want to do this is because of two government rules, which actually have sound reasoning behind them. One is the SEC's law about selling unlicensed securities. We don't want to give people the impression that if they just join our system, then they will somehow magically make thousands and thousands of dollars. Okay, that's why we put this cap in place. The other reason is the lottery commission. We don't want people to get the impression that they're buying a lottery ticket for $49 and they can win thousands of dollars depending on what happens in that month based on their luck. Okay, we want to avoid those two things. We want to make sure that majority of your income is actually tied to a reasonable production as an affiliate, okay? So what happens to all this extra money? What happens if I refer somebody who makes $4,500 from their matrix, but they're a customer? Here is what happens, and this is a really, really good part. I think this is probably the best part in my opinion. All the try matrix and everything is fun, okay, but so far it's just gymnastics to make sure some more people make money, which is better than every other company, but still, that's okay. Here's what happens here. $4,500 gets made by a person in the matrix, but they are not an affiliate, they have not referred anybody. What happens is they get 900, okay, so minus 900, and that leaves $3,600. Now, out of this $3,600, remember somebody who just got hurt. I referred this customer. If they had made $4,500, then I would have received a nice matching bonus. But to make up for that, out of this $3,600, 30% will roll up to the referring affiliate. Okay, what that basically means is that I will get a $1,200 bonus because my customer would have made this much, but because of the cap, made only this much. Okay, then on top of that, 5 affiliates total. Okay, so the 4 affiliates above me, the guy who referred me and the guy who referred him and the gal who referred him and the amorphous entity that referred them, in that situation, those people will also get 5%. Okay, that would be $180 each. Okay, so you can see that this is very rewarding for the affiliate. I mean, look, it's a good thing. They referred a customer, the customer is making money trading, the customer is making money doing drop shipping, and the customer made some money from the matrix. And keep in mind, this customer just got $900 for really no effort at all. They should be very happy as well. So what happens at this point? Now we still have $1,800. Okay, and here's where the fun really begins. The $1,800 left after this, we take that, and at first it would have gone into Jason's pocket, but we take our greedy hands and stuff them into Jason's pockets, and we pull the money out, and we go and find everybody in the company who after Matrix 1 and Matrix 2 and Matrix 3 still has less than $10. Okay, every customer in the company who's in that situation. And we take that $1,800 and we go and make them whole. We start going in and trying to get them to $10 at least. Okay. Now, depending on the exact configuration in a month and how many people this situation happens to, sometimes we will end up with everybody in the company making at least $10. You can imagine the excitement from that. If everybody in the company wakes up to any bonus money at all, okay, just it's a very, very exciting thing. And if you're an affiliate and you're wondering what kind of a company is going to grow virally and go explosively, and all over the places, it's going to be a company where everybody in the company wakes up to some random money and is completely flabbergasted. Now, on some months, depending on the configuration, because there are not enough people that this happened to, we will still have some people who made 0 or made 3 or made 6 or something like that. Okay, but we try our best to make sure that everybody gets at least something. Okay, so on the first look, this is not the best system for an affiliate. But on the second look, you realize that this is actually going to be the system that has the most tremendous organic growth. You will have the most excited members. You will have the highest retention rates. And guess what you're going to have? What do you think is going to happen to this customer after this happens to them? When they realize that they could have made $960, but they only made $900, or they could have made $1,028 and they only made $900. They realize I should probably become an affiliate and refer at least one more person, right? That is what is called organic growth, where we didn't go to this person and say, listen, if you want to make any money in this system now, you better go and start recruiting. Okay, that's what happens, unfortunately, in every other MLM. You go to somebody, you sell them the dream, you say, listen, you're going to make all this money if you just join and just use this magical product. The second they join and start using the magical product, you say, now, by the way, if you want to make money, go sell the magical product to others and tell them to repeat the same process with you. Pretty sad, okay? And that's why you don't see the organic growth, because suddenly this person is shattered. They're like, well, the magical thing you just sold me didn't make me magically a bunch of money. Over here, we're not even telling the customers to go out and recruit. You don't want to recruit, don't recruit. End of discussion. But they're still going to wake up to money, and many of them are going to realize I could have made more if I'd just taken some action. Instead of some guy preaching to them and saying, change your mindset and start recruiting, because it's all in your mind, which it isn't, by the way. There are actually real material facts that also surround us, not just our mindset. In this scenario, you have organic growth, okay? And that's what, in my opinion, is the best part about this company as a whole. That you have success coming in from the signals and the trading and a whole new industry and a whole new world that unfortunately majority of the people never get to see.